Well, today I've been to Hellenbach. It's a small village in Norway, a bit deserted.
The train journey from Oslo to Trondheim took about 7 hours, but glancing out the window to the passing countryside was an absolute delight. From rocky bed rivers meandering through valleys to snow-capped peaks, the countryside in Norway is absolutely stunning.
This is my hotel room in Trondheim for the next 3 nights. It's right next to the train station, so it's only a couple of minutes walk. It actually has got a view of the harbour in the distance there, and there's a bridge that crosses over into town where all the restaurants etc. are. So, looks good. Chair in the corner, little table to do my work on. Nice double bed with a picture, which I assume is in the local area or somewhere in Norway. And finally, the bathroom with shower, etc. So this is about 1,000 Norwegian kroner a night, which is about 90 British pounds.
The first bridge built on this site was in 1681, at the same time that the Christianston fort was constructed. A sentry and excise house stood either side of the bridge. The excise house on the western side is still standing and is used as a kindergarten. The bridge and gates, as they are today, were built in 1861. Restaurant Troll is a must for all food lovers who are wanting to try new Nordic cuisine. I really don't know how this restaurant hasn't got a Michelin star already. Pre-booking is advisable, and I selected the 5-course menu with a drinks package pairing a glass of wine with each dish. The food and service was exceptional, and the wine choices matched the dishes well. I wish they had gone for bolder wine choices. However, I do understand why they chose the options that they did for the dishes. This is not a budget experience, and the meal plus drinks cost over £100. But I would say it's one of my favourite culinary experiences in my tour of Scandinavia. Trondheim's Raus Bar is one of my favourite cocktail bars in Norway. Delicious cocktails, cool atmosphere and friendly staff. Well worth a visit if you're in town. Nidaros Cathedral is built over the burial site of King Olaf II, who became patron saint of the nation, and it is the traditional location for the consecration of new kings of Norway. It was built over a 230-year period from 1070 to 1300, when it was subsequently completed. Over the years, it has been ravaged by fire on several occasions. In 1708, the church burned down completely except for the stone walls, and 11 years later it was struck by lightning and was again ravaged by fire. Today it is a popular tourist destination and is the world's northernmost gothic medieval cathedral. Most attractions in the city are within walking distance. However, there is a bus station next to the Central Railway Station, and taxis are also available.
Today I've been to Hellenbach. It's a small village in Norway, about 35 minutes from Trondheim, on a really picturesque stretch of railway that goes round the coastline. Beautiful place, a bit deserted, but it's a picture opportunity. And the only other thing in Hell that is renowned is every September it has a blues festival. So other than its name, the blues festival is about all it's got going for it. But here's a day in Hell. Our station's only one stop away from Trondheim Airport. However, there's very little to do here at the station. So it's something that, whilst it's nice to have your picture taken in Hell, there's not a lot else to do here. As you can see, it's pretty much deserted. Blustery day in Norway today. I'm in Trondheim for another couple of nights and then I'm heading off to Bodø, which is probably the travel day that I'm least looking forward to in this whole tour of Scandinavia. It's a 10.5 hour train ride. Hopefully I can put my laptop out on the table and do a bit of work whilst I'm travelling along. I'm hoping to write an ebook to go alongside my travels in Scandinavia, giving some advice and tips, so hopefully I can get a lot of that written on my train journey.
There are great views of the fjord as the train track follows the coast. As you look out the window, you'll be mesmerised by the beauty of the coastline and mountain backdrop. Whilst the journey only takes about half an hour, it is well worth the trip out to hell just for the landscape and the natural beauty that you see. The 5-star Britannia Hotel in Trondheim is the home to the Britannia Bar, which is a sophisticated and elegant yet comfortable place to sip a few cocktails. Whether you choose a classic or from their signature range, the Britannia Bar will deliver liquid perfection. The journey from Trondheim to Bodø was even more stunning than the journey up from Oslo to Trondheim. You could see the dramatic landscape past the trees that lined the railway track. My mind drifted off to the thoughts of living in the remote Norwegian countryside, perhaps in a wooden house by a babbling brook, where in the summer I could fish for salmon and in the winter ski in the mountains. The journey takes about 10 hours, so you have plenty of time to let your mind drift away as you head towards the Arctic Circle. You will experience such a contrasting landscape and weather conditions on your journey up to Bodø. Ferry crossing from Bodø to Solvere was very rough. Unfortunately, there were several people around me suffering from seasickness,